Black lives always mattered. Angela Davis in conversation. The Black Panther Years. Written by Geoffrey Giuliano. Narrated by Geoffrey Giuliano.
Angela Davis was born in Birmingham, Alabama. Her family lived in the Dynamite Hill neighborhood, which was marked in the 1950s by the bombing of houses in an attempt to intimidate and drive out middle-class blacks who had moved into the area. Davis occasionally spent time on her uncle's farm and with friends in New York City. Her family includes brothers Ben and Reginald and sisters Fania. Davis attended Carrie A. Tuggle School, a segregated black elementary school, and later Parker Annex, a middle school branch of Parker High School in Birmingham. During this time, Davis's mother, Sally Bell Davis, was a national officer and leading organizer of the Southern Negro Youth Congress, an organization influenced by the Communist Party, trying to build alliances among African Americans in the Deep South. Consequently, Davis grew up surrounded by communist organizers and thinkers who significantly influenced her intellectual development. Davis was awarded a scholarship to Brandeis University in Waltham, Massachusetts, where she was one of 3 black students in her freshman class. It was during this period that she worked part-time to earn enough money to travel to France and Switzerland before she attended the 8th World Festival of Youth and Students in Helsinki, Finland. She returned home in 1963 to a Federal Bureau of Investigation interview about her attendance at the communist-sponsored festival. During her second year at university, Davis decided to major in French and continued her intensive study of philosopher and writer Jean-Paul Sartre. Davis was accepted by the Hamilton College Junior Year in France program. In Paris, she and the other students lived with a French family. It was while she was in France that she learned in 1963 of the Birmingham church bombing committed by members of the Ku Klux Klan, in which 4 black girls were killed. She grieved deeply as she was personally acquainted with the young victims. Nearing completion of her degree in French, Davis realized her major interest was in fact philosophy. It was then she began making plans to attend the University of Frankfurt for graduate work in philosophy. In 1965, she graduated magna cum laude, a member of Phi Beta Kappa. Beginning in 1969, Davis was an acting assistant professor of philosophy at the University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA. Although both Princeton and Swarthmore had tried to recruit her, she opted for UCLA because of its urban location. At that time, she was known as a radical feminist and activist, a member of the Communist Party of the USA, and an associate of the Black Panther Party. The Board of Regents of the University of California, urged by then California Governor Ronald Reagan, fired her from her $10,000 a year post in 1969 because of her membership in the Communist Party. The Board of Regents was censored by the American Association of University Professors for their failure to reappoint Davis after her teaching contract expired. On October 20th, when a local judge ruled the Regents could not fire Davis solely because of her affiliation with the Communist Party, Davis resumed her post. The Regents again released Davis on June 20th, 1970, for inflammatory language which she reportedly used in 4 different speeches. The report stated, "We deem particularly offensive such utterances as her statements that the Regents killed, brutalized, and murdered the People's Park demonstrators, and her repeated characterizations of the police as pigs." On August 7, 1970, Jonathan Jackson, a heavily armed 17-year-old African-American high school student, gained control over a courtroom in Marin County, California. Once in the courtroom, Jackson armed the black defendants and took Judge Harold Haley, the prosecutor, and 3 female jurors as hostages. As Jackson transported the hostages and 2 black convicts away from the courtroom, the police began shooting at the vehicle. The judge and the 3 black men were killed in the melee. One of the jurors and the prosecutor were injured. Although the judge was shot in the head with a blast from the shotgun, he also suffered a chest wound from a bullet which may have been fired from outside the van. Evidence during the trial showed, however, that either could have been fatal. The firearms which Jackson used in the attack, including the shotgun used to kill Judge Haley, had been purchased by Davis just 2 days prior, and the barrel of the shotgun had been sawn off. Davis was
Sample complete. Ready to continue?